The rise of gaming sound design, how audio engineers craft immersive worlds players can feel. If you've ever felt your heartbeat sync with a boss battle, or noticed your controller grip tighten as a thunderstorm rolled across an open world, congratulations, you've experienced the invisible hand of game sound design doing its job. Great game audio doesn't shout, it surrounds. It guides your attention, primes your emotions, and turns pixels into places. For modern audio engineers, gaming has become one of the most creative and technical playgrounds on Earth. We'll break down how gaming sound teams build immersion from the ground up, covering roles, workflow, tools, interactive mixing, memory, CPU budgets, and why game audio is less about perfect sounds and more about responsive ones. Whether you're a music producer curious about crossing over, a film sound pro eyeing real-time engines, or a self-taught engineer building your first indie title, you'll leave with concrete techniques you can apply immediately. Key idea: in games, audio isn't just played, it's performed by systems reacting to player input and game state. That shift changes everything from file naming to mixing philosophy. The core roles. Sound designer creates assets, UI clicks, weapons, creatures, ambiances, and defines how they behave in-game, randomization, pitch variance, spatial settings. Technical sound designer bridges audio and engine, building logic in middleware like Wise or FMOD, implementing states RTPCs, profiling performance, and collaborating with programmers. Composer writes adaptive score built in layers that can crossfade, stinger, or react to gameplay, health low, enemies near, puzzle solved. Dialogue lead owns VO pipeline, casting, recording standards, mastering, localization, handles runtime processing and lip sync integration. Audio director sets sonic vision, approves style guides, mediates trade-offs with design engineering, and keeps the experience cohesive across platforms. Interactive design static. Why systems win. In linear media, you mix once and ship. In games, your mix must adapt to an infinite number of player choices. That's where systems thinking shines. States and switches. Swap entire sound sets based on context. Dry footsteps indoors versus wet in rain. RTPCs, real-time parameter controls, map game variables to audio, e.g., raise low pass as health drops, widen reverb in large rooms. Blend containers, smoothly crossfade between layers, idle, alert, combat, instead of hard cuts. Randomization, pitch, volume, start offset, and sample selection to prevent ear fatigue. Spatialization, HRTF-based binaural, occlusion, obstruction, and geometry-aware reverb for believable space. World building with ambiance. Ambiance is the silent star. Layer macro and micro details. Macro bed, wind, city hum, distant surf, broad strokes that define region. Micro details, birds, neon buzz, rain drips, spawned via timed random schedulers. Time weather systems, swap palettes, day versus night, intensify during storms. Interiors, filter and reflect exteriors through portals for continuity when crossing thresholds. Foley and mechanics footsteps, cloth, gear, weapon handling, UI, and traversal cues teach feel and timing. Pro tip, treat traversal sounds like percussion. Vary material sets, metal, stone, mud, leaves, and add subtle syncopation for sprinting to make movement feel alive. For melee, combine transient-rich whoosh layers with short tail layers, then sidechain ambience to each swing so hits punch through without cranking the master bus. The music layer, adaptive by design. Instead of one linear track, build modular stems, rhythm, harmony, texture, melody. Use segments and transitions. Exploration, low-density pads, plus sparse percussion. Suspense, add pulses and dissonant risers. Combat, full drum, bass, plus lead motifs, trigger stingers on headshots, parries, boss phases. Use transition rules with bar beat quantization to keep musicality intact when states change mid-bar. Mixing in motion, Loudness, headroom, and ducking games aren't mixed for one SPL. Players can linger in a menu or trigger 5 explosions plus NPC chatter at once, techniques that help. Bus architecture, route by category, VO, music, SFX, UI, ambience, with dedicated limiters. Keep 6 to 9 dB headroom on master to absorb spikes. Sidechain priorities, dialogue first, duck music ambience on VO lines, secondary duck on key SFX, e.g. reload. Distance curves, tailor roll-off per asset type, UI stays near field, ambience stays wide. HDR mixing models, let quiet scenes feel quiet so loud, moments actually hit. Memory and CPU. Creative constraints. You can't throw 96 kHz multi-channel assets everywhere. Design within budgets. Sample rates, 44.148 kHz for most SFX, 24-bit masters downsampled as needed. Looping, seamless loop points plus crossfades instead of long ambiances. Variations over length. Use 6 to 12 short alt takes randomized rather than one long file. Streaming versus resident, stream music, VO, keep UI and frequent SFX resident. Compression, ADPCM in OGG where appropriate, reserve PCM for critical UI and transient-sensitive assets. Prototyping Workflow 1, graybox the level and temp tag events, footstep, jump, fire, pickup. 2. Build basic routing in middleware, attach placeholder assets. 3. Implement first-pass states, calm, alert, combat, and test transitions. 4. Iterate with playtests, log moments where audio misleads or overloads. 5. Replace temp with polished assets, optimize CPU memory, finalize mastering on target hardware, headphones, TV speakers, soundbars. Dialogue. The unsung UX players forgive many things, but not muddy mission callouts. Standardize mic chains, capture consistent room tone, record alternates for systemic barks, and design a VO priority system so critical lines preempt chatter. For localization, keep text IDs stable early and separate processing per language. Sibilance and noise behavior differ across languages and voices. Spatial audio and head tracking. With headphones dominating, invest in HRTF-based renderers and per-platform tech, e.g. platform-specific 3D audio APIs. Head-tracked binaural cells presence in VR and flat screen alike. Use geometry-aware reverbs so occluded enemies sound convincingly behind a wall rather than just quieter. UI and accessibility. UI audio is navigation. Make hover, click distinct. Ensure error and success are perceptually opposite. Pitch interval. And add toggles, sliders for players with sensory sensitivity. Offer subtitle customization and audio descriptions where possible. Accessibility expands audience and improves clarity for everyone. Collaboration, talk like a designer. Embed yourself in level design and combat tuning. Ask for exposure to enemy design docs, camera behavior, and metrics. Run speed, jump arc. Audio that understands mechanics can anticipate player needs. Stamina low. Soften footstep highs and add subtle breath layers to nudge pacing without a UI pop-up. Career path, from DAW to engine. If you're coming from music or film, keep your DAW chops, but add engine fluency. Learn one middleware, WISE or FMOD, one engine, Unreal or Unity, and profiling basics. Build a small vertical slice, one room, one enemy, one loop of play, and ship it to itch.io. Hiring teams want to hear systems thinking as much as polished samples. Starter stack, indie-friendly, DAW, Reaper, Pro Tools or Logic, middleware, FMOD or WISE, free tiers. Engine, Unreal or Unity, field recording, handheld recorder, plus shotgun mic, sound libraries, start small, layer your own Foley, analysis, loudness meters, spectrum, convolution reverb IRs, version control, Git, Perforce, even solo, protects your work. Checklist, make it feel alive, at least 3 ambience layers per biome. Footsteps with surface detection plus randomization, adaptive music with clear state logic, dialogue ducking plus priority rules, spatialization with occlusion obstruction, CPU, memory budget documented and profiled, QA passes with headphones, TV, and low-end speakers. In the end, game audio is about empathy, turning player intent into feedback that's readable, satisfying, and beautiful. When systems, sound, and story line up, players don't just hear your world, they believe it. Oh shit, I almost forgot. Make sure y'all head over to decibelcrew.com and learn much more.